Welcome to Movement Not Miracles. I'm Anna from Eat, Move, Be Happy. Happy New Year! It feels a bit strange saying that at the moment, given the announcement last night. However, we know that when the vaccine starts, when more of us have had the vaccine, or more people have had the vaccine, and the weather starts to pick up, then we'll get a better hold on this virus. And we all have a part to play in helping stop the spread of COVID-19. So whilst it might be a bit of an unusual new year for a lot of us, there is a sort of light at the end of the tunnel. This too will pass, as they say. So the sun is shining, the sky is blue, that greyness has disappeared, and it is still chilly, hence I'm in my sweatshirt, so please forgive me, I haven't got my t-shirt on. But we're going to do some mindful movement today to kickstart the week, hopefully look after yourselves a little bit, lift your spirits a little bit, and move through some of those major joints so that we can ward off some of those aches and pains that we get when we sit still for too long, which, I don't know about you, is very easy to do, and looking after our posture is a really good way of avoiding those aches and pains. So I'm going to do my Movement Not Miracles kneeling down or on the floor, only because of where the camera is. You can do this first couple of exercises standing if that's more comfortable for you. Seated or standing or kneeling, it does not matter. To start off with, we're just going to work through our movement in our shoulders and our upper back, starting with some shoulder rolls. A really simple, effective way of keeping our upper back posture in a healthier place and keeping our shoulders, the shoulder mobility, in a healthier place. So what I want you to think about, whether you are seated or standing, make sure your weight is evenly spread between your left and your right side. So don't be leaning, favouring one side rather than the other. Be as balanced and as grounded as you can. I think we're going to get some help from Martha. Yes, here she is. Martha's come to say hello as well. She's going to show us some of her moves, aren't you? So when you've got your setup right, then I just want you to think about lifting your shoulders up and back as far as they will go, and then down. And to start off with, you can just have your hands in your lap, so we don't have to use the full arm to get the movement in the shoulders. So if I show you from the side, so sitting or standing nice and tall, and your shoulders come up first and back, so you really broaden across your chest, and then down. So up and back, and at that position there, really squeezing your shoulder blades together on your back chest so that you get as much movement through those shoulders as you can. And if you just take a couple of moments through the whole of the move and just think about what's happening with those shoulder blades. I'll show you from the front again. It's very lovely having company, Martha, but you're not really helping. And then you can actually do the same move and start to move through the arms. So think of taking your arms all the way up. So you've got I don't want to hit the wall, which is why my arms are bending. So think of, if you can get the movement through your arms, then your shoulders are going to follow, and still thinking about squeezing those shoulder blades. So think of as much movement, every single millimetre of movement through those shoulders, through those shoulder blades, as you can and keep breathing through the move. I think the beautiful thing about the shoulder rolls is you can do it anywhere. You can do it whilst you're making a cup of tea, whilst you're sitting down, whilst you're standing up. And if you do that frequently throughout the day, just a few shoulder rolls, then it just helps remind your upper back and your shoulders the best position to be in. So you broaden across your chest rather than being round-shouldered and slumped forwards like this. We're much more likely to have a more upright posture and broader across our chest, which is much healthier for our back. So continuing to work on our back and our upper body, so we're going to do some elephant ears. So if you clasp your hands behind your back, and exactly the same as we did before, have your weight evenly distributed. So if you pull your elbows in towards your head to start off with, and then squeeze your shoulder blades together and pull your elbows apart, and then relax, and then pull your elbows apart. When you do that, try not to arch through your lower back. So you might feel a tendency to do this and arch through your lower back. So what I want you to think about is tucking, I don't know whether you can see that with my sweatshirt, tucking your pelvis under so that your lower back is protected and safe, rather than sticking your bottom out like that. Can you see the difference? So we can arch through our lower back. Movement through your lower back is not wrong, but if you've got a bit of a temperamental lower back, then putting added pressure on it as you, oh, I forgot which one I was doing then, not shoulder rolls, as you stretch back, just means you can aggravate your lower back. Whereas if your lower back is fastened in, then you're much more likely to protect that too. Plus, our lower back generally moves a lot more than our upper back. Mostly we have less problems getting some movement through our lower back than through our upper thoracic region. So we'll just do a couple more elephant ears. So pulling our elbows back, squeezing our shoulder blades together and relaxing. And just count your breaths as you're doing these and relaxing through the rest of your body. And then finally, a chest stretch. So focusing on stretching through the front of our chest. I'm just going to come up a little bit higher onto my knees. So squeezing, clasping your hands together in the base of your back, weight evenly distributed, shoulders in that back and down position, and then really squeeze your shoulder blades without letting your bottom stick out, so that you are stretching across the front of your chest. And you might want to just let your gaze gently down to the floor, just to relax through your jaw, and keep breathing. Squeeze those shoulder blades a little more. Okay, a bit of a tactical waggle, and we'll do that one more time. So hands in the base of your back, clasped together. Set your shoulders up first. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. Really broaden across your collarbones. So you should feel some stretch in the front of your shoulders and across the muscles in the top of your chest. Keep that pelvis tucked under, so we don't want that bottom sticking out. It's tucked under nice and safe. Okay, now if you are seated and unable to work from the floor, you can do this, the top half of this move in your chair. So imagine that I'm sitting in a chair. Think of pushing your bottom backwards and folding forwards so that you rest down onto your thighs. If you can, placing your hands onto a work surface or a window ledge or a tabletop so that you get some stretch through your upper shoulders, through your armpits and through your upper back. If you are able to work from the floor, we're going to do child's pose. So toes together and knees apart, and think of folding from the hips. So you're going to hinge from your hip joint, your groin here, rather than rounding through the back. We're not rounding the back, we're thinking of bringing the chest forwards, trying to keep your bottom sitting on your heels. So you might find it easier to sort of walk your hands forwards, thinking of bending from your hips, keeping your bottom back. So I'm really extending through my spine and pushing down into the floor. And if you can, just rest your forehead onto the floor. So this one, you can just fold into this move, and I'm not saying don't do that, but if you want to get some stretch and some movement through your shoulders, your armpits, your hips, and some extension through your back, then there are some things to think about. It can be quite a relaxing pose to be in. So think about moving, trying to keep your bottom on your heels, but think about moving into the position gradually and focus on your breathing. And keeping, just as we've just done, keeping your shoulders away from your ears. So try and keep your shoulders back and down and your shoulder blades squeezing together. Arms should be straight. And if you push your hands into the floor, as you squeeze your shoulder blades together and push through the upper back, you should feel some work in your upper back muscles and through your shoulders. Trying to keep that pelvis tilted under to get some extension through the base of your back. And just breathe. And as you relax into it, pay attention to which bits you can feel, which bits are working, which bits are relaxing. Focus on your shoulder blades. Relax through your jaw. Okay, and then gradually lift your head and work your way back up. So, a bit of a gentle, mindful movement, not miracles session today. You can do any combination of the moves. You can mix them with other sessions. These are just ideas that I have, usually based on which bit of me I feel needs to move a little bit more than the rest of me on any given day. Some ideas for you to help look after your posture, look after your joints and the mobility of your joints, so that you can avoid some of those aches and pains and feel a little healthier, feel a little bit more mobile. Because we certainly know that if we stop moving, then we lose that mobility, and often what happens is we get a bit of a niggle or a bit of a pain, or we feel a bit stiff and it's harder to move or a bit painful, so we don't, and then that just exacerbates the problem. So certainly doing something is better than doing nothing, and keeping moving is the aim. Certainly don't push through pain, particularly if it's pain in a joint. you are likely to feel your muscles working, and depending on how you describe pain, you're going to feel a bit of muscle work, but certainly not pain in a joint. And you can do what you can do. That's the whole idea. We do the best that we can do and look after ourselves the best that we can. So Movement Not Miracles will be back tomorrow. In the meantime, enjoy the rest of your day, and I will see you then. Don't forget to check out the website www.eatmovebehappy.com for some ideas of some online coaching to help you with your eating and exercise habits so that you can feel healthier and be happier. Take care, stay safe.